Singling out any one individual in a team sport's usually a fallacy and a half. I don't like to do it, but I'm okay with labeling one particular player as pivotal to this coming season. Good morning to you. Good Monday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Penguins. It comes your way bright and early every weekday if you're into football and or baseball. I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Pirates in the same place that you found this. Rickard Rakell is that guy. In an election year, you could call him a swing vote. He's the one who could make it all make sense, or he's the one who could throw it all out of whack. And I got a couple of different contexts for that I'll share with you. The first is the one that I think would be the most obvious, and that's his role on the second line. I think we can all agree that Evgeny Malkin and Michael Bunting, for whatever reason, seem to really hit it off on the ice last season after Bunting came over in the Jake Gensel trade. That's not something you're going to mess with. And as Mike Sullivan himself is fond of pointing out, he, unlike most of the rest of us, thinks of his lines as pairings versus three-man lines. In other words, there's two guys on each line that he knows are going to stick together, and the rest of them are kind of like Velcro. You know, you can just slide them up and down on the chart as you please. Well, even though Malkin has more experience alongside Rakell, to me, there's no doubt that the pairing there is Malkin and Bunting. They both seem to be really good for each other. So, if Rakell produces the way he should produce, the way he's produced in the past, you've probably got yourself a viable second line, in which case you'd have yourself a viable top six. The other area is the power play. And of course, no single facet of this operation could be more pivotal unto itself than the power play. And with Sullivan revealing over the weekend that Erik Karlsson's going to be part of the power play and they're going to go with two D-men, although Karlsson's going to be more sliding down to the left side of the umbrella formation while Chris Letang stays at center point. Unless they're taking Gino off the power play, and that would seem to be quite a thing to do even before the start of the season, then one of Rakell or Brian Rust is going to come off. And I have a feeling it's going to be Rust, although we could know more when the team is back at practice today in Cranberry. Doubly so with Rust coming off an undisclosed injury after crashing into the boards last week in a preseason game. This episode is brought to you by Bet Online, your number one source for all your summer sports needs this season, from Major League Baseball, golf, NHL, NBA playoffs. Get the latest odds and lines, including all team matchups, player props, odds on just about everything that's out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Bet Online, where the game starts. Now, if you think about what Rakell's role is on the new power play versus being the half-wall guy, which he was doing a little bit last season and a lot more the season before that when he scored 10 power play goals in a short period, he's going to be more of the, I guess you could call it a goalpost. If you look at what the Penguins are doing, they're working the puck across the top of the umbrella, but they're also shooting it down low and spitting it back out from down low. Rakell is, I guess you could call it a goalpost. I think of them as goalposts. Rakell is on one side and Sid on the other. And as opposed to having some old school one big body in front of the net, they have two people that are really close to it. They can slide across as needed. They can pounce on rebounds, each one of them being on their correct side to do that. But Rakell also can be a trigger guy. Dude can really, really shoot the hockey puck. I think maybe we forget that because he wasn't at his best at all last season. And although he doesn't ever bring this up on his own, I bring it up when I talk to him, and I just did within the past week, and his shoulder's a lot better than it was last season. Now, he did not have it surgically repaired, and anybody who knows anything about sports injuries to shoulders will tell you that that's actually good. You don't want people poking around inside your shoulder. It's a lot like back surgeries. The first 10 answers you should give to anybody regarding back surgeries are all no. Shoulders aren't much different. So what he did instead over the summer was to rehab the thing, re-strengthen it. And he told me he's feeling great, and it shows. It shows on the rink. It's not just his skating now. It's also his shooting, his passing, his finishing touch. Especially, talk about a swing vote. Imagine if he's the swing vote on the power play, and the power play is the swing vote for this season, the way it was in the wrong direction last season. When we come back, J1Q. Today's J1Q comes from Ron, who says, DK, why not a third line of Jesse Puljujarvi, Kevin Hayes, and Rutger McGroarty? That would leave Lars Eller between Blake Lizotte and Noel Acciari on the fourth line, and Anthony Beauvillier can be the extra forward. Ron, I'm not with you on that at all, for a lot of reasons, but the number one is that I don't see McGroarty making the NHL team to start off. He's still here, which is a really strong sign considering almost everybody else has been sent back. But the vibes that I've gotten from within is that he could use time in the AHL. It's not spoken in any critical way, not from them, not from me. He just needs a more complete game, and he needs, as Mike Sullivan has spoken about openly, he needs more pace to his game. He's not going to get that in the NHL without the team paying a price. That can happen in the American League, and it should happen in the American League. I also don't like the red. I just don't like these. I'm sorry. I don't want to be mean here. It's kind of you to listen to the program and to send this in. But what I have is I have Eller between Puljujarvi and probably Beauvillier. I still want and need to see Drew O'Connor taking first line shifts with Sidney Crosby. Now, understand, we've all been assuming from day one that he's your first line left winger and all that other stuff here. But until it actually occurs, there's got to be at least an outside chance that they keep Beauvillier up there and that somebody, maybe even Sid himself, is liking what they see. But if DOC is up there, then you're going to have Beauvillier on the third line. And from there, you're going to have Hayes and Acciari and Lizotte if the latter's healthy. I'm not expecting some mega surprise here in the next 24 hours or so. I think that you're going to see what you see. You can still keep both Valtteri Puustinen and Cody Glass. But you send McGroarty down, you give him a pat on the rump, say, hey, kid, way to go. You did great for your first NHL camp. We're looking forward to having you back. Here's what you need to work on. See you soon. The rest of these guys you got to go with right away. And I'm way, way, way more inclined, and I've been saying this for months now, even after the acquisition of Hayes. You're not moving Eller down the depth chart. Eller is a better hockey player than Hayes. And he has shown that to everyone all over again. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Penguins. Only 2 more days till it gets real.